Have you ever wondered what you can do to make your Amazon sales page stand out a little bit more? Or have you been on Amazon recently and seen some fun graphics on the sales pages and wondered how you can add those graphics to your own for your self-published books? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Those graphics that you see are called A+ content, and it is something that you, as an indie author, have control over. In today's video, I will show you some examples of A+ content. We'll be talking exactly what the guidelines are behind using A+ content, and then I'll also be giving you a step-by-step tutorial on designing your own A+ content and uploading it to Amazon. This is a super simple, easy, and free way to market your book and to improve your Amazon's sales page, and it's something fun to mess around with as well. So if you're interested in all of that, make sure to stay tuned for the full video. My name is Mandy Lynn. I'm an author, book cover designer, and the creator of the Book Launch Planner series, and if you like weekly videos on the business of being an author, then make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you never miss a new upload. So first, let's start off with an example of A+ content. So we are on the Amazon page for My Book Launch Planner, which is one of the books in the Book Launch Planner series. And as you can see, the page itself, it's okay, but where the real magic is when you scroll down and you see these cool graphics. And these cool graphics are what we call A+ content and what we're creating today. Because I wanted to create these graphics for the Book Launch Planner series planners because I can't really create a huge sales pitch off of the description, because the real magic is the templates and people want to see those templates and checklists. So that's why I wanted to create a graphic like this so you can see them and really get a feel for what you're getting when you purchase the planner. So as you can see, these images sell the planner way better than this little description does. So that's what we're creating and working on today. Okay, so before we get to designing our own A+ content for our books, let's talk about the rules and guidelines, because there are a couple restrictions that Amazon has. And everything that I talk about today comes straight from Amazon KDP's website, so I will leave that linked down below if you want to go into more detail, because I'm going to be going over stuff that I think is the most specific to authors, but there's a few other rules as well that I'm not going to cover because I don't really think they are relevant to authors. But if you want to check it all out, it'll be linked down below. Rule number 1, pricing and promotional deals. This means in your graphics you cannot use any language referring to like free, sale, add to cart. Any of that language, not allowed. Rule number 2, customer reviews. You are not allowed to use customer reviews in your A+ content. You are allowed to use like quote reviews from relevant people. In the case of authors, if you have a review from like a best-selling author or Kirkus review, you are allowed to use that in your A+ content, but you cannot take like an Amazon customer review and use it in your A+ content. Rule number 3, time-sensitive information. So you can't reference holidays, you can't reference like coming up soon or buy now. So there's very specific words that reference time that you can't use. So now, latest, new, the best yet, weird things like that. You can't use that type of language in your graphic. Rule number 4 is publication quotes, which goes back to customer reviews. And this is just saying that you're only allowed to use 4 publication quotes, and those have to be from like official places. KDP defines it as well-known publications or public figures. Rule number 5, claims and awards. If you're an author with an award or your book won an award, you have to reference the date of the award as well. And this is because you cannot reference awards that are over 2 years old. So once 2 years have passed, whatever award you won, I guess it's irrelevant, which seems like a stupid rule to me, but it is what it is. And the last rule that I will mention, which is a couple different things that'll bundle all into one, because again, I don't think they're usually relevant to authors, but you can't have any claims. Like, you can't claim that by reading your book it's going to cure cancer or things like that. You also can't have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and there's a long list of claims that you can't make. Again, I will leave a link to KDP's website directly so you can really sift through all of those claims that you can't claim. That way you can make sure you're in the clear. But if you're a fiction author, odds are all of this is irrelevant to you. For some nonfiction authors, this may be relevant, so just look into it. Okay, so now that we have the rules aside, let's start with our fun tutorial, and we are going to be designing the graphic on Canva directly. And in the step-by-step tutorial, I'm not only showing you how to design it, because we will be designing the graphic step-by-step in Canva, which is a free software to use. We are also going to be step-by-step uploading it to Amazon as well. Alright, now that we have all the rules set aside, let's get to designing. Okay, so we have to start off first on our KDP account, and the first thing we want to do is scroll down to the book that we're going to be creating A+ content for. In particular, I wanted to create A+ content for my latest novel, The Trail to You and Me, because I just wanted to do a little more to market that entire series, frankly. So I will eventually be making graphics for all the books in the series, but today I'm just starting with The Trail to You and Me. And what you do is you go, let's start with the paperback, and we're gonna go to promote and advertise. And this is also where you would go to create Amazon ads, but we're actually going to go down here where it says A+ content, and you can see they give you they give you the guidelines, which we already talked about, examples, which I already gave you, but we're just going to start into creating it. So we're going to choose our market, and I'm just going to worry about Amazon.com. You can go through and do all of these. That's really up to you. I'm going to start with Amazon.com and hit manage A+ content. Alright, and there's a few different ways you can go about creating your A+ content. Like, you can start by finding the book, or you can start by just hitting the start creating A+ content button. I'm going to start there. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit the add module button, and you can see these are all the different types of A+ content that we can add to our Amazon page. Now, the reason why I came here first is because we need to know how big our image needs to be, and it's not the 60 by 180 company logo. What we're actually going to do is we are going to click the standard image and light text overlay. That is what I'm going to select for our A+ content. So let's just click on that, and when we click on that, we can hit the add background image button, and when we do that, we can see that our image needs to be 970 pixels by 300 pixels. So let's remember that, and let's dive into Canva. So if we're in Canva, like I am right now, we can hit the create a design button, and we can do custom size. So again, it was 970 by 300. So 970 by 300, and hit the create new design button. So this is the size our A+ content needs to be. Now let's talk about inspiration for what will be in our A+ content. So for that, I am using some graphics that I already designed in Canva, and I just dragged them onto the screen. So this is a Instagram graphic that I made for The Trail to You and Me, and it's just saying like what all the tropes are that are in the book. And I thought that would be a really fun, easy thing to make into A+ content. Now, if you're someone who has Canva Pro, what you can do, if you have a design that you already made and like, you can resize it by hitting this resize and magic switch. Now, I personally canceled my Canva Pro account because I was going on maternity leave. I wasn't sure how much I'd be using Canva when I came back, so I haven't turned it back on yet, but I might eventually. And then I also have a few of these graphics that I made for Instagram as well that promote the entire series. So I figure all this info, just make each one into its own A+ content for The Trail to You and Me would be great. So let's start with this one, which is about just the book. Now, instead of resizing everything, I'm actually going to just drag and click to highlight everything, and then copy and paste. And you can see that actually worked. So now I'm just going to quickly resize everything. Okay, so I just quickly resized everything, and I want to note a couple things. Is that I removed the stars because I wasn't sure if I was technically allowed to have those stars in there just based off of their guidelines. I don't want to like submit this and to have it rejected, so I just figured I'd remove the stars. It's not that big of a deal. And another thing I have to remove is this, which is now on Kindle Unlimited. I can, erase the now and put on Kindle Unlimited, but instead of doing that, I'm actually going to go to the sales page. And on the sales page, we have this. And I'm going to see if I can put this little tagline on instead. I'm not sure if it'll work. I'm also not sure if it'll be too much text, but we'll see. Because sometimes, they're just weird for what is and isn't allowed in terms of graphics. But I think that is too much text just design-wise. So I'm actually going to delete that entirely and just make this cover big and bold. And I think that's kind of fun. It's simple, but it also, gets the point across of what the book is all about. Okay, so let's make our other graphics. So I'm going to hit the add page button. So we have, same size graphic, just another one of them. And we already recreated this one. The next one I want to design is this road trip snapshot series one. So let's change the background color to match the background of this graphic, just so we have some interesting things going on. And now I'm just going to copy and paste, and we're just going to resize things. And another thing I want to note, I can't remember if I said it when I was going over the rules, but one of the rules, whether I said it or not, that you guys need to know is that you can't link outside of Amazon. So I need to remove this, which says MandyLynnBell.com, because that links outside of Amazon technically. Okay, so we have another fun, cute, and simple graphic. The next one I'm going to make is going to be this one, which is honestly one of my favorite graphics, which is This or That Book Edition. It just says the tropes that are in the Trail to and Me, and then the tropes that are in Meet Me at the Summit. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and resize this on Canva. So we'll add another page, and we'll just do that real quickly. All right, and those are all of our graphics. So we just made 3 of them, and I like this because the first one advertised just the first book, and then it introduces us to all the books in the series. And then because, again, we have book 1, book 2, and then standalone, you can actually start with either of these books in the series. So you can pick which book you want to start with using the This or That Book Edition graphic right here. So what we're going to do now that we've created all this is we're going to go ahead and download it. And I am going to download it as a PNG and hit download. So I'm just going to hit extract all because it's a zipped folder right now. So I'm just going to hit extract again. And these are our graphics right here. These are the graphics on my computer. Now let's go back to Amazon and we can actually go ahead and add these graphics in. So add in the first one that we designed. And you can also add in the image keywords, which it just says here, describe image for customers using screen reader applications. So if you want to fill all that out, you can, or you can skip it and do it later and hit add. So you do have to fill that out. You don't have to get super detailed, but just go as detailed as you want. Okay, then hit add, and there's your first graphic. And now you can actually just skip adding this information, which is the headline and body text. We're just going to skip that because if we skip it, it just adds the graphic. So we're going to do that 2 more times. Okay, so those are all the graphics that we just created, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add content name, and I'm just gonna name it the name of the book, so The Trail to You and Me, and then we'll go next, which is apply ASINs, and we can find the ASIN by just going to our KDP page, find your book, and we can see the ASIN for the Kindle and the ASIN for the paperback. Copy and paste and select that. And then once you have that, you just have to hit apply content. And now we'll do it again with the other ASIN. This just makes sure that we add it to the ebook and the paperback. So you can see it down here. This is the ebook, this is the paperback, and it just says not published. That means the A+ content isn't published rather than the book. So now that we've done that, we can hit next, review, and submit. We can preview it. It looks great in my opinion. And then hit submit for approval. And it just tells us here it can take up to 7 business days for your content to be approved, and if approved, up to 24 hours for it to show up on the page after it's published. So I'm gonna hit the submit for approval button. Now I will admit the only one I'm not sure of is the last one because it has a lot of text. I don't know if they're gonna like that. Sometimes they don't. So there is some trial and error when it comes to the graphics that you create for A+ content. But as you can see, it can be really fun to create A+ content. Assuming my A+ content got approved, I'm gonna show it on the screen now to show how awesome it looks on the page. And essentially, I plan on doing this with the other books in this series as well. But that is gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what type of stuff you share for A+ content for your books, because it is kind of limited in what you can and can't share, but I think, you know, if you're creative with it, you can have a lot of fun. So again, that is it for this video. I will see you all in the next video.